there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see where the ocean meets the sky.
Well, we start this episode making our way along the Tamar River, and where our campground for this episode is at the mouth of the Tamar River.
Yeah, so it actually wasn't our first choice of campground today.
Nor was it our second.
It was our third choice. And that's something to be aware of if you're travelling Tasmania during the off-season, is some of the paid campgrounds actually closed down. We just did an overnight at Old Max, and they closed at the end of this week.
Yeah.
The place we rang this morning for our first choice, didn't even answer the phone, and I realised they were closed. And we rang the second place, which was Mill Pond or something like that, and they said they've just closed for winter as well, and it's still 10 days to winter, mind you. So
Well,
found this
when you say 10 days to winter, like the conditions are still beautiful. Like we've got 15 degrees, it's blue skies, it's gorgeous weather.
Oh, look, it's a beautiful time of the year to be travelling, no doubt at all. Just be aware that you will lose some of your paid campsites because they close down. But anyway, so we've got
I suppose they've got to have a holiday at some point.
Yeah, and I guess it's a low season.
Yeah.
So we found this free camp, which is at the mouth of the Tamar River. We thought we'd give that a try. We'll go there and have a good look, and hopefully we'll like it and stay there. Otherwise, we'll be looking for our fourth site.
Come along for the journey.
Bad. I mean, it's a free spot, it's pretty good, but it's going to be quite blowy, I feel. So you're fairly exposed on this spittle dam, which goes right out into the mouth of the Tamar River. So anyway, we'll stay here for at least tonight. We'll see how we go. When we arrived here a few hours ago, it was quite gusty actually. There was a bit of a wind kicking through, and wasn't too sure whether we'd stay here with a strong breeze, but it's dropped right off. It's dead still. We've got a beautiful golden sunset over the water, which looks gorgeous. Got the GoPro out capturing that, so I'll show you how beautiful it is in time lapse. What do you think? We might stay here a couple of nights.
Look, can this get any better? Really? I mean, yeah, it's cool, but we've got this warmth of the golden glow.
And it is a gorgeous view looking out over the mouth of the Tamar River. And I'd love to put the drone up and show you just how gorgeous it is, but my drone is lonely at the bottom of the Ross River, or the Macquarie River at Ross. But anyway, we're enjoying a glass of red wine now, and
life is good.
Life is pretty damn good. Well, it's changed a bit from last evening when we sat down there showing you the beautiful sunset. It is now very overcast. The sun's right out now, but just between a patch of clouds, and it's blowing a gale. So the weather app is showing 60 km/h gusts, and we now have white caps on the waves coming in. And yeah, it's certainly a little bit different. I come out before to take this bit of video, and the windsock blew off and took off, and I thought it was going in to drink, but it stopped just on the bank, so I was lucky to grab it in time. Obviously didn't have it quite clipped in properly. Anyway, she's certainly a different day today, and the forecast is for rain throughout the whole day, although the wind is supposed to drop off again later in the afternoon, so we might be lucky, we might get another beautiful sunset, but we are going to stay here one more night. Was enjoying a little bit of bird photography while we're here, seeing a few different birds I haven't seen around for a while, and got some nice photos. But another reason we're going to stay another day, apart from the fact that it's actually not a bad location, you just can't help the weather, is that over there is the main channel to take you into the berths down yonder. And we've looked up the schedule, and there's a couple of bulk carriers coming in tomorrow morning around 10 AM. So that'd be pretty spectacular to watch them sailing on past. So we're going to stay here and hopefully catch one of those bulk carriers coming in. Well, we are going to go for a bit of a drive into Beaconsfield today and have a bit of a look around. We contemplated it yesterday but decided against it because just didn't feel comfortable with the caravan security, because there was only one other caravan here, and there were some people up on the point who just looked a bit dodgy. And I went up and spoke to them just to get a bit of more of a feeling of whether I was okay with them, and my conversation with them wasn't comfortable either, and they just were not making eye contact, and we just stayed with the van. We didn't go anywhere yesterday because of them, but they're gone today, and there's a couple of caravanners there and they seem really nice, so we're going for a drive. Well, we're going into Seahorse World. Well, it wasn't a planned trip, was it?
No, it wasn't a planned trip. Don't you love those occasions where you just stumble across something?
Yeah, we were just going in to get some groceries and things, and drove past and went, Seahorse World, we're going in.
Well, we did come here, what, 11 years ago?
Yeah, we came here 11 years ago, and it was Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas time, so...
And the place was packed, and we turned around and left. So
chock-a-block.
It's not packed now. We're going in for a look.
Yep.
We'll let you know what it's like.
We had the chance to visit Seahorse World in Beauty Point, right in the heart of Tasmania's Tamar Valley, and what an amazing experience it was. This isn't just any aquarium, it's actually a working seahorse farm, the first of its kind in the world. We took a 50-minute guided tour where we got to learn a bit about these incredible little creatures and their unusual way of life. The tour commenced in the cave, which is home to a selection of seahorses and sea dragons, and from there we got to see the behind-the-scenes workings of the farm, watching seahorses at all stages of their life cycle. But the absolute standout moment was getting to hold a live seahorse in our hands. Such a delicate, magical experience that I'll never forget. If you're travelling through northern Tasmania, Seahorse World is definitely worth adding to your list.
I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way.
That was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Honestly, what's $27.50 per adult?
24 for me, because, you know, I'm older.
Look, honestly, did you ever realise that seahorses are actually real?
They don't look it, but they're
Well, the
fascinating
varieties.
creatures.
It's just, what was there, 6 different varieties I think that they have.
But they have there. There's many more than that, but there's only 6 in there.
Amazing. It's a must-see. If you're in this area, in Beaconsfield, drop in and say hello.
Well, it's actually Beauty Point. We're just up the road from Beaconsfield.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Beauty Point it is. Yeah, it really is fantastic. Oh, look, the males are really peculiar because they have the big fat bellies, and they're
it's
the ones
very attractive, apparently.
The bigger the belly, the more attractive you are if you're seahorse. So maybe I'll do well with that. But yeah, and they're the ones that that birth the young. Like the female drops the eggs, the male fertilises them and swallows them or something into his belly. I don't know how that part works.
So the bigger the belly,
But anyway, the
more
male then
attractive.
carries the fertilised eggs until they hatch. They're born live birth then. So yeah, it was You, the lady did the tour, Lily, I think her name was.
Lily.
She did a great job, and it was very
informative.
very informative, very fascinating. Really enjoyed it. The Oreo cows. We've always wanted to get a photo of one.
Let me show you.
We've been trying to get photos, but they've always been way too far away. This one's a lot closer.
They're beautiful. Moo.
Oh.
What a beautiful paddock.
This is not something you see every day. Where we're camped up here, we're at the mouth, but a bit further down is Bell's Wharf, and the big container ships come in down there, and there's a container ship coming in here now, so we're going to get a bit of a close view of it.
Yeah.
Steaming on, well, not steaming.
No, definitely
Powering
not
on
steaming,
past us.
powering. But it's amazing, like there's so many things here in Tasmania that we've just like almost daily, it's just like, what?
Yeah, something new
These
for us yesterday
epic-
was the Seahorses.
Yeah,
and, yeah, I know
absolutely
container
epic.
ships are common, but I've never really watched one come in before, so that's pretty cool. I'll tell you a little bit about the campsite we're staying at. So it's called Garden Island Campgrounds. It's located on a spit of land at the mouth of the Tamar River, or pretty close to the mouth of the Tamar River. It's actually owned by Tasports, but they allow people to camp on here for free. And as such, there are no amenities here at all. It is pretty much just the spit of land and a few trees along one side. No rubbish bins, toilets, dump points, showers, anything like that. But it's a free camp, and I think it's nice of them to do that. The spit of land is obviously man-made, but they've used gravel and small rocks and stuff like that with just a bit of dirt and grass on top. So we had quite a storm last night, but there's no worries about it being boggy. There's pools of water lying around, as you can see here. But the ground is good and solid underfoot, so it's really quite good. It's located at about 10k north of Beauty Point on the Tamar River, and so it's a really good location if you're having a look around this side of the Tamar. Behind us over there is Georgetown, which is probably about 800 metres away across the river. But it's a 50-kilometre drive to get there, because you have to go right down the Tamar, across the Batman Bridge and back up the other side. But on this side you have Beauty Point and Beaconsfield to have a look around at, and there's a number of points of interest there. As we've already shown you, we went to Seahorse World yesterday, which was stunning. Really did enjoy that. There's also the historical mine site here from that disaster back in, I don't know, about 25 years ago, where where I think some miners died and 2 miners were rescued after a couple of weeks. So they have a museum there dedicated to that, and we did have a look at that about 11 years ago, and it's well worth having a look at. Look, it's beautiful here on the spit. You've got ocean around 3 sides of it pretty much, and as we saw, you've got those big container ships which come through. And the water here is just glorious when it's sunny. We've had a few showers and some wind. It was a windy day yesterday, but it's just dropped off at the moment, and it's not glass, but it's pretty close to it. It's only a very light breeze, and these people up here are obviously sitting up on the very end of the point and enjoying the fishing. And apparently you get flathead, salmon and King George whiting here. And I should throw a line in, but I just won't. I don't know why we're carrying fishing rods around with us. But anyway, that's the campsite. And I'd definitely recommend this one. We're staying one more night, so it'll be 3 nights here, and we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, check out old Larry. Happy as. Skippity-doo-dah, skippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Hello, my love. What's that?
I just went into JB Hi-Fi and this drone fell in my hands.
Oh, really?
Well, if you'd watched the last episode, you'll know there was a sad fate to my previous drone. It's now lying in some deep, dark water, which never to be seen again, so I couldn't do without it. I had to get another one. I tried to do without it. It lasted a week. We've just stopped in at Bracknell to fill the water tanks on the van. We're on the way to the Liffey Conservation Area to park up there for a couple of nights. And I know I said this earlier in the episode, but I'll say it again. Watch out for those winter time camps, because once again we had 2 campsites picked out and both of them were closed for winter. We were going to go to Mural Park RV camp, which is out east of, I think it's south of Scottsdale, east of Launceston, and it looked really beautiful. Got on the booking system this morning to book it and couldn't book it, and looked up and found out it actually closes today for the winter. So then we chose RV farm stay, and once again closed for winter. So if you're coming over here during that winter period, just be aware that some of the paid campsites are closed. But we're going to it's a national park area now, a conservation area, so there's no trouble getting in there as far as it being open or closed. We've arrived at Liffey Creek Conservation Area, and just in the process of setting ourselves up. Not a bad drive in. The bitumen road is a little bit narrow, a little bit what you do here and there, and then I think about the last 3k is dirt, which is also quite narrow. It'd be a bit tricky if you meet a caravan coming the other way, but we were lucky and no one came the other way. And there's no one here, which is sometimes a nice thing and sometimes do I feel comfortable type of thing. Look, it really looks like a beautiful area. It really is. Got this running creek just over here, and it's a nice campground set up with fire pits and tables and chairs, and some toilets over here. I haven't had a look at. I assume they probably drop toilet type of thing. But it's in a valley and mountains on either side, and it's 3:30 and that sun's well and truly below the mountains there, so it gets dark pretty quick, and it looks like we'll probably only get maybe 2 hours of sunlight, so in the middle of the day. And so not sure if we'll stay here more than the one night. We're staying hitched up just in case we decide to move on tomorrow to a lake spot we're looking at as well. But since there's a fire pit here, I've gone and collected some timber lying around at various different fire pits and lying in the ground. Unfortunately, it all feels like it's just a little bit moist, so I really don't know how we're going to go with the fire, but we'll give it a crack because we haven't had a fire for a while, and I'd love to have a fire tonight. So anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Come all you young rounders, and the story I'll tell.
I have managed to get the fire going, but with the timber just being a little bit wet, I just don't think it's going to go very well. It certainly won't be good enough to cook on, at least I don't think so. So we'll get the gas burner out and use that. We are cooking a curry, so probably won't use induction because we're not going to get any sun, although if we're only here for a night we could use induction. But anyway, we're happy to use the gas cooker, so we'll do that.
Sunset, two-star cross to love you, and there's still melting snow where the loving was easy.
I'll tell you what, these bloody blowers, they're amazing. Put a bit of blower on it, and geez, she gets up and going for a little while, but then it drops back off again. Just be careful you don't blow all the ashes out. It's an amazing difference, isn't it? Problem is, it'll soon be back to how it was.
Well, the folks called it wrong, but hell, it seemed alright. A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way.
You know, this is one good thing about caravanning in those off seasons. We've got all of this wonderful space to ourselves. Sun's shining. Oh, it's just glorious.
Well, we've arrived at Lake Parangana and we've settled in, sitting in our chairs looking out over this beautiful view over the lake. It really is a gorgeous location. The glass water with the reflection, the sun going down behind us. Mind you, it's only just after 3 o'clock, but once again we're in a valley. So
Well, I'm impressed that we got to 94%.
we did, yeah. So
Which is awesome.
the sun is going down behind the mountain. It's still another about 2 hours to sunset, I think. But we'll obviously won't have sun from now on in. It's a lovely spot. The drive in, well, most of the drive is a reasonable sort of a bitchin' road. Actually, the drive in here is probably not as bad as the drive out of Liffey Falls. That was a bit hairy, wasn't it?
It was a little bit. Those hairpin bends and
dirt.
narrow tracks.
But the drive in here is pretty good. It's only once you get off the Bitchin Road to drive into the actual campsite, which is only about 200 metres. It's narrow and potholey and a bit wet in places, but it's not soft, so it's just got to be careful not to scratch the van. But you can tell it's winter tomorrow because it's getting bloody cold. Bloody hell, it's cold. I think you're allowed to have fire pits here, or fires here, but
some fireplaces.
Once again, it's probably going to be hard to find dry firewood in this area. You'd really have to bring your own in with you, I think. Anyway, we're going to kick back here and enjoy this beautiful view, and we'll show you a bit of drone footage of what this campsite looks like, and
It's beautiful.
And the lake itself. It does look gorgeous. There's only one other caravan which is about 400 metres that way.
I suppose that's the luxury of travelling off season, isn't it?
Yes, exactly, because no one else
We've got this place to ourselves.
wants to be here in winter. camp at a lot of these lakes in Tasmania, such as Lake Parangana here. You do need to be aware that the water levels can move up and down. And we mentioned in a previous video when we were camping at Lake Brady that they'd let water into Lake Brady for the slalom course, and the water level had risen probably only 4 or 5 centimetres, but it's just something to be aware of. Now we've pulled up here at this lake, and this rock here, which you can probably hardly see, but the rock is now about 3 centimetres underwater. When we arrived, it was above water. There was water just around the edge of it, because I stood on the rock and I was standing on it looking up and down the lake, and it's now underwater. So the water has come up probably 7 or 8 centimetres since we've arrived. And they, like I said, they do move water between the lakes, so you need to be aware of that. They do that for the hydro, obviously, for the dams. We're parked up relatively high up here. Feel quite safe up there. But just to be aware of, don't park right on the lake edges when you're parking on these, camping on these lakes in Tasmania. What are we having?
You know, it's just a mismatch of, or a mishmash
Well, it's leftovers
of
with chicken.
leftovers.
Yummy.
But you know, the thing is, the gas burner is great if you're trying to save on power.
Because we don't have
So,
gas
why
inside
do
the van, obviously.
Why didn't you put a gas burner inside the zone?
Look, I understand why there's no gas inside the zone, and fair enough too, but you do need to then buy one of these because you don't always have the power,
Well, instead of
particularly
giving
in
us
Tasmanian winter.
instead of giving us an induction cooktop, maybe one of these, a gas burner.
Yeah, actually that'd be a good idea. Like, you go, in power only on the inside, no gas. Yep, I understand, good idea. But then we have a portable induction that Zone actually provide with the vans on the outside. Maybe a little gas one would be better than the induction. And we have used the induction one, but not since about February when we had lots of power.
Yeah.
We haven't
And
used
of
it
course,
since.
now that the days are shorter, whoop a daisy. Now that the days are shorter, we're chasing the sun.
All the time. And particularly when we
So-
park in valleys like this, where
Yeah.
the sun's going to be very limited.
Anyway, this is us for dinner tonight.
Yep.
Which of course it's currently 4:10, so I'm wanting to cook before it gets dark and
Really
dew
cold.
seeps down upon us. So let's get this done.
It's a beautiful morning here on the lake. There's I wouldn't call it a heavy fog, but there's a fog across the lake, which I've got some drone footage of. Looks absolutely glorious. So still, just the birds. Much better than night we had with a bunch of yobbos down there, yakking, yelling and driving their cars around and screaming and letting off fireworks that we thought were firearms at first. But it is beautiful here.
Devil's Gullet. It's an interesting name, isn't it?
It is an interesting name. Looking forward to it. So it's located.
I think we're looking forward to it.
It's located in the Western Tiers area of Tasmania. We've got a bit of an overcast day actually, so it may rain, but we're hoping the rain will hold out. Otherwise, it won't be quite as enjoyable. But anyway,
I'm sure it'll be beautiful all the same.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It is supposed to be a spectacular lookout, looking down over the gorge, which they call the Gullet. So we'll soon see. We've arrived at the car park to Devil's Gullet.
Conditions have changed.
Oh, they have. We're up in high country now. You can tell it by the vegetation and the change. Not to mention the fact that there's a wind blowing and it's bloody cold. So
It's a bit of a chill factor. That's for
we've
sure.
rugged up. So the sign there says it's a 45-minute return walk. So we're now on our way.
I would have imagined that Devil's Gullet would have been really, really hot.
Quite the opposite, isn't it?
Oh, very much so.
Well, it's a nice walk in, but it's starting with some stairs at the very start of it. Well, there's a narrow boardwalk at the very start. And then we've got into the stairs, hence my puffing. It's a gorgeous view out here. At Devil's Gullet to your points of interest or places to go and have a look at. Well worth it.
It was pretty special.
It's about 20k drive from Lake Parangana if you're staying there, or if you happen to be staying at Mole Creek, it's about a 30k drive. It's a nice drive. It's a beautiful drive up into the mountains.
Very
We're-
windy and
Yeah, we're basically on the edge of the central
Bendy.
plateau now, and great views from up here. It is cold. Bring your warm weather gear with you, or cold weather gear, whichever it is. Those Dolomite rocks,
they're pretty spectacular.
yeah, it's a lovely walk up there as well, and a beautiful view. So definitely put this one of the best lookouts I've seen in Tassie, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of a cardio workout for the first 5 minutes of the climb. There's
Yeah.
a few steps there, but look, it's a very easy and basic walk, and the paths are just beautifully maintained. Tasmanian Parks and Wildlife have done a great job.
Yeah.
You know, all of those stepping steps, all with level rock. It
Yeah.
was really beautifully done.
Yeah, but
so
it's
yeah,
a relatively easy walk, really.
yeah.
Yeah. We've arrived at our next location, which is a caravan park. As it's Deb's birthday tomorrow, I said, well, where do you want to go? And she wants to go to a vineyard for lunch tomorrow. And it's near Port Sorell, so we decided to go to the Port Sorell caravan park. We've just arrived, set up. It looks really nice, actually. We're out in the parts where it's a grass site. You can get cement slabs at some places. Obviously, power and water, so we're on power and water. And we're only probably a 100-metre walk from the beach. It was a beautiful drive in, actually, through Reedy Marsh Forest, I think it was called. A bit of a windy road, but it was a beautiful scenery driving in, across the Rubicon River. That looked really nice as well. And now we're parked up at the entrance to the Rubicon River on Port Sorell. Haven't actually picked out our last campsite after we leave here and before we board the vessel, the Spirit of Tasmania. But since it is a long weekend. We may have to consider staying on here if we can't find anywhere. He did say that our spot is vacant for the long weekend, so we can stay on here if we're unable to find somewhere else. Well, it's Deb's birthday. So for her birthday, she gets up nice and early.
I'm so lucky.
1 degree it is this morning. We're going down the beach to check out the sunrise. Icy cover on there, it's a bit slippery. That's how cold it was this morning. It's 1 at the moment, but obviously got down to 0 or below 0. Well, what a glorious morning it's been down here, watching the sunrise come up at Port Sorell. There's a very faint fog over the water over there. You won't be able to see that, of course, on the GoPro. You'll have to take my word for it. There's the ice on the jetty here, which we've shown you, and just beautiful sunny day, the blue water, the beach. It's glorious. A couple of fishermen are heading out. Glorious morning for your birthday, my love.
Now it's going to be a glorious afternoon as we head to the vineyard.
For lunch, for a birthday lunch. We've arrived at Ghost Rock Vineyard in Sorell. So we're coming here to celebrate Deb's birthday, having a beautiful lunch here.
Well, we're hoping it's a beautiful lunch.
Well, I reckon we're fairly well guaranteed to have a good one. It looks like a really lovely place. We'll show you around a bit afterwards, after we've had lunch.
Yeah, we'll let you know what it's like. Ta-da, ta-da!
Candle for her birthday. Oh, I didn't get that. We do it.
OMG, that was amazing.
Yes,
that was absolutely beautiful.
We really enjoyed our meal there at the Ghost Rock Estate. It was very beautiful. We even went as far as dessert. We normally do 3 courses. Rather
no, but
full.
They weren't massive.
No,
it was absolutely beautiful. So if you're in Port Sorell, come to this place.
If you want some fine dining, this is really a top-notch place, and it was very beautiful.
Yep.
They even put a candle on Deb's dessert, which was a really nice touch. And they did wish you happy birthday and everything. Yeah, they were a nice crew here as well, which really just topped off our experience here. Very nice, enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys.
Make sure you visit here if you like some top-class food while you're at Port Sorell. So after our meal at Ghost Rock Estate, we've just decided to come for a bit of a walk along the beach. So there's 3 beaches here where we are. There's Point Sorell, and then beside that is the next beach is Shearwater, and the next one is Hawley Beach. So we've come up to the top end of Hawley Beach, and there's some walking tracks here. We're just having a bit of a walk along the walking tracks. What a nice way to end our day, just going for this bit of a walk along the northern end of Hawley Beach, just out onto the rocks with the orange lichen and the sand and the seabirds and little rocky outcrops out in the ocean themselves. There's a bigger one up further called the Carbuncle, and strange name, and the little one just in front of us is unnamed because it's just a rocky outcrop basically. It's beautiful, isn't it?
I just wish I could describe the beauty of the colours that we're looking at. Like, you have to turn this around and show
I'll show you
everyone.
some drone footage.
Oh, it really is just amazing.
Yeah.
This landscape is just stunning. It really is absolutely beautiful. You know, like Paul said, the lichen on the rocks. But I'm also looking beyond the horizon, and there's this beautiful mauve colour to the clouds and the horizon. It's like the sea and the sky just merged together in this beautiful masterpiece. It's really incredible.
hard to capture on the iPhone. You
It really
definitely
is.
can't capture it on the
You
GoPro.
just stand in awe
Yeah.
of this beauty.
It is. So Port Sorell, we may even stay another night actually. We're contemplating
Yeah.
staying tomorrow night as well. Tonight is supposed to be our last night. It's only 2 nights, but we might stay a third night.
I reckon we should.
And then we'll need to find our last campsite before we catch the spirit of Tasmania. But a beautiful spot. I'm glad we come to Port
Perfect.
Sorell. Definitely recommend this as a place to come and see. We ended up staying a third night at the Port Sorell Caravan Park. Gave me an opportunity to get a bit of work done, both work that I get paid for and a bit of YouTube video editing, etc. But the rain came in last night. It rained all night long and it was blowing some winds, gusts up to 60 k's per hour, rocking the van a bit. And you can see a bit of water lying around. So the forecast for the next few days is rainy weather. So we've got 3 more days in Tassie. It looks like they're going to be wet days, but we've had a really good run, so I'm not complaining about that. Tassie's weather's been beautiful nearly the entire time we've been here. A few wet days here and there, a few showers here and there, but not too bad, and certainly a bit cool of late. But anyway, we're moving on today to somewhere near Sheffield, not too sure yet. Got a couple of parts, a couple of camps picked out. It'll just depend on how full they are, being a long weekend, but I think with this rain about, probably they should be okay to find a spot there, and that'll be our last camp until we hit the spirit of Tasmania on Tuesday. Oh, the fun of trying to get under here, trying to pack your caravan up to leave when it's raining. We arrived in Sheffield yesterday and we've pulled up at the Sheffield RV Stopover, which is a lovely little spot, just probably a kilometre from the town centre. You could literally walk into town from here. It's a great spot too, and you got choice of grass area to park your van or a bitumen spot over a bit further. And they do give us some amenities, which is great. There's a dump point here, some bins, and there's a potable water tap beside the bins as well, so you can top your van up on the way in, way out. Location wise, it's really good. As I said, it's close to town. Just behind me to the south of the campsite is the beautiful Mount Roland. We went for a drive yesterday and had a look at that. Oh look, it's really spectacular. You've got these rolling hills for the grass, for the farmland that's leading up towards the base of the mountain, and around the base of the mountains these forests, and then you've got the ruggedness at the top of the mountains itself. It really is glorious. And yesterday we were lucky enough to have a bit of cloud on the side of the mountain as well, so that made it even look a bit more spectacular. Thoroughly enjoyed having a bit of a look around Mount Roland. And if you're energetic and into your walks, then there are some walks that do from the base of the mountain up to the mountain peak, and some various other walks around the Mount Roland area as well. And just down the road is a little puff and billy steam train that comes back and forth past the campsite here. So they've got a little station only about 500 metres down from us, and every 10 or 15 minutes the puff and billy goes puffing past us and blows its little tooty horn. And it just goes up to a field and does a U-turn or reverse and comes back to the station. So obviously that's for people to have a bit of a ride on, take your kids on for a ride. Interesting fact, Tasmania has no passenger trains. They have tourist trains which take passengers obviously, such as the little puff and billy going past, or the Wild West Wilderness Railway, which we did in an earlier episode. But no actually dedicated passenger trains, none in Tasmania. It's the only state not to have any.
Sheffield is a small dairy farming town and it's 23 kilometres south of Devonport. This inland area on Tasmania's northwest coast is world renowned for its high quality butterfat products. But this small rural town has another draw card, as it's now a town covered in beautiful artwork. They're covered in murals. So in the centre of Sheffield you'll find Mural Park, which is where we are at the moment. In 1986, a group of locals formed a committee to save their small town from economic hardships. Two of the members had recently seen a documentary on a small town in Canada, which became a tourist destination when they painted murals on its town walls. They analysed Canada's success and were determined that Sheffield and other areas in Kentish had the potential to become an outdoor art gallery of heroic proportions through visual storytelling of the area's pioneering history. Today, Sheffield is known around the world as the town of murals.
The front section of the park has the last year's murals there, so that's 2024. This rear section seems to be the collection of all the winners over the years, starting from 2003 going up to last year's winner. It's very interesting to look at the styles changing throughout the years, I guess. They seem to, the newer ones do seem to be better in my opinion than some of the old ones. And this one from 2004, I'm just not too sure it's been vandalised or that's actually what it was. So maybe I'm just, you know, I'm not an artist, so maybe I just failed to recognise the beauty in this one.
Sheffield, you can't miss the mosaic inlaid pathway throughout King George V Park. There are 78 individual mosaics in the park, and each of them apparently took approximately 30 hours to complete. What an amazing feat. Well done, Sheffield. Hope you enjoy the pics.
This tree behind me was grown from the seed of the lone pine which stood on the slopes of Gallipoli in 1915, where 9,000 Anzacs fell. So the story is, a soldier picked up a pine cone from a fallen branch of the lone pine and sent it home to his mum. And years later, 2 pines were propagated from that original pine cone, and this is one of the pines here, planted in 1967. I find it stunning to think that this tree is a direct descendant of that lone pine from the shores of Gallipoli, where all those soldiers fought and died. We've headed out about 6k from Sheffield and we're going to do the Red Creek Falls walk. And we've arrived in the car park here now. It's a nice easy drive. And there's a lot of mountain bike trails around here as well. It's part of the Wild Mersey River trail by trails walk, or tracks, I think they're called. I'll put a picture on the screen. Anyway, we're about to do the walk.
The sun is shining, there's beautiful blue skies, but we've got the kookaburras laughing at us now. So the tall trees, as we start this walk, are blocking the sun, so it's very, very cool. It
is a bit cool, yeah.
But it's comfortable.
I think it's about 10 degrees this morning, which is not that cold, but as soon as you get out of the sun and into the shade, it starts to cool down a little bit.
We'll be warmed up very shortly.
Yes, I'm sure we will be. We'll take you along for the walk. It's a 1.5 kilometre walk into the falls. It's a nice easy walk. It's a roadway we're walking on. And you do get a view into the valley below occasionally, but it's fairly thick trees at the moment, so we're not seeing too much. But a couple of spots we've seen a nice view into the valley below.
Birds twerping.
Yeah, mountain range on the other side. It's a beautiful walk in.
Said if the sun set on me there, I'd never make it home. They said don't go downtown tonight, there's trouble on the rise. The Batman in the shadows and the bound.
Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I didn't see the little gate. I was just checking this thing was properly secure. That's all. That's all I was doing.
Of course you were.
It does say electric fence. Just be careful opening that gate. Well, we're going to continue on straight and do the falls walk, but when we come back I think we'll do the cave circuit. So I haven't really read much about that, but we'll, I think we'll just do it anyway. It was our neighbours who were staying at the Sheffield RV Park that told us about this little walk in the waterfalls. They did say they're not spectacular, but it's well worth a little walk in, and I have to agree, they're not spectacular falls, but they're very pretty, very nice, and it's a lovely walk into here.
It's a nice easy walk. If you have small children or elderly folk with you,
Yeah.
it's a simple walk without too much strain.
It's really only once you walk through that little gate we just showed you there, then the last probably 50 metres is just a little bit muddy and a little bit slippery to walk down, but no problems at all. An easy walk.
No problem for us old folk.
Yeah, if us oldies can do it, you can all do it as well. There's a couple of little cascades a bit further down, so we'll show you those as well.
Just the trickling streams, the sound of running water, the blue skies, the cool air.
It's a great day to be out looking around.
It is a beautiful day.
And our last day before we head off tomorrow. On the main falls, which we just showed you, the water does cascade down through some other smaller falls and out through a rock here, which I'll just show you a look at. It's certainly beautiful looking at this lower part below the main falls area, but it is slippery rocks to clamber across just to get out and have a look at this view where the water comes through the rock and all the tree ferns, etc. Now we're going to do the cave circuit. Look at that, someone's left a couple of garden chairs for us to sit here and ponder the waterfall.
Keep your money in your pocket, son, and the razor in your shoe.
You don't have to walk far to see the first of the caves, the waterfall's just there.
Better not be any snakes in here.
A little ladder up to one. There's little caves all the way along here. What's it say? Danger, please jump into this cave for your own safety. Oh, it looks pretty tempting, no?
Things here. Wow.
I'm not going to go to the top step.
Well, the sign says, please do not enter this cave for your own safety. I'll climb up to the top step. That's intriguing.
It is, isn't it? There you go. I'll obey the sign and not enter. It looks like it just slides straight off there, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Look at it from this angle. What's holding that rock on?
I'm getting out the road.
Get out there.
Ah, so sitting down on the job, hey?
I'm getting in touch with nature.
Wow.
We've just completed the Red Creek Falls walk and the cave circuit, and I really enjoyed it. What did you think of it?
Oh, I thought it was great. It was an easy walk. I guess until we came to the part where we're crossing over some rocks with moss and
down on the
tree
lower
roots,
falls.
yeah, on the lower falls area.
Yeah,
So just
or
be mindful of
cascades,
those,
really. Yeah,
those little areas.
definitely. And look, if you're staying in the Sheffield area, definitely add this one to your list. It's a lovely little walk. Really enjoyed it. Beautiful scenery there and back, listening to the birds, etc. There is also a walk up to Kimberley Lookout.
Yeah, Kimberley.
When you reach the falls, there's a sign there saying the Kimberley Lookout Walk. It's about 2.5k one way, and we decided against doing that one mainly because we want to get back to town.
We're running out of hours.
And we're hoping to catch the alpaca man in Sheffield itself. He walks the streets with these big brown fluffy looking alpaca from time to time, and we're hoping to be lucky and catch him. Or we just spoke to a family who were walking into the falls and they said, oh, he was there early this morning when we missed him again. We're going back now and hopefully we'll see him.
Yeah, and you just hit the key word, family. So it's a great little walk for families with small children. This family had small children and they were all eager to go for the cave walk. So that was, and
probably
lovely.
the little kids are better over those slippery rocks than us
very
anyway.
True. That's very true.
We finished up at the Sheffield RV Stop and enjoyed our time in Sheffield. It was a lovely place. Had a few days there.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to meet Ludo, the alpaca man, so disappointed about that, but anyway.
We were really looking forward to seeing the big brown alpaca that he takes down the main street, but unfortunately we just didn't see
Missed him by that much.
And you can see behind us here is the Spirit of Tasmania, so we'll be boarding that in a few hours time, and our time at Tasmania has come to an end.
We feel so truly blessed that we were able to get the extension that we were hoping for. And look, here we are, start of winter, sun's still shining, it's still glorious, but it's time to go.
And just like that, our Tasmanian adventure comes to an end. Well, Tasmania has captured our hearts over these past 4 months. Its wild, rugged beauty, its history, and the people we've met along the way. As we drive aboard the Spirit of Tasmania, it's a bittersweet farewell. But we are truly blessed these memories will stay with us forever. Thanks so much for joining us on this series and coming along for our journey. We look forward to sharing the next chapter of our getaway adventures with you, so stay tuned until next time.
Rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes